Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. In the previous episode, the Vancouver Canucks finally got their revenge over us in the second round of the 2029 Stanley Cup playoffs, destroying our back-to-back-to-back dreams. We were trying to three-peat. It just didn't go down the way we wanted it to, and we crumbled there against the Canucks. Our play just wasn't there. Our best assets just didn't show up. Yes, after 2 straight years of winning the Cup, yeah, I shouldn't get to complain all that much. But the way that we went out is kind of disgusting considering the kind of team that we have. Let's go ahead, check out the stats, see what went wrong, because we have a whole lot of decisions to make this offseason. That it's going to be such a long episode. Matt V. Michkov, this is a contract season for him. He is the biggest priority heading into the offseason. We want to make sure we get him back long term. He was great for us. He was a minus player, but he was scoring goals, and that's exactly what we're paying him to do. Skylar Staubitz, as a top-tier centerman in this league and on this team, he was playing exactly the way I wanted him to. New Hook was relatively quiet compared to years past, but it was just a weird postseason run for us. We didn't play the best against Colorado. We didn't play great against Vancouver. It was bound to happen. Ludwig Pearson, that definitely did play a role in us losing against Vancouver, losing our top centerman, our best point producer in the regular season this year. That tends to hurt us. It definitely wasn't as big as a storyline as it should have been last episode, but it definitely affected us in a negative light. Tristan O'Reilly, 8 points in 12 games. He's never really been that franchise player for us. I don't know. It's whenever it comes game time, he just doesn't really tend to show up, except a year like that when we won our first Stanley Cup. He's definitely a strange player. I love him, don't get me wrong, but I gotta be more critical. Ivan Frolov, he was a minus player. He did struggle, but in his, I believe it's a sophomore season, yep, he's only getting better. And it's not a contract season next year. Yippee. The biggest storyline heading into this offseason is Johnny Gaudreau. And I'm going to tell you now, he's going to have to go. If there is a player on this team that has to skedaddle, it's going to have to be Johnny. Do I regret not just signing him to a 1-year deal so we could let him walk? It's debatable. I would rather trade his rights away for more assets. I don't want to just lose him because of nothing. Is he going to retire? I'm not too sure. Either way, he's the guy going. O'Reilly's probably not coming back. Landeskog might. But a lot of these guys just didn't show up when we needed them most. A guy like Chris Tierney was friggin' sick. I want to bring him back because he's a beauty. I want to keep this team relatively the same, but for it to look prettier and neater, we gotta trade away a guy like Gaudreau, who I don't want to because he's been a part of this team for so long, and it's getting to that point where we have to start trading away very talented players. Cale Makar, yes, he is making the most money on this team, but he's not going anywhere. He's probably won his 3rd straight Norris. He was one of our better players in the postseason. He was one of our better players in the regular season. Sometimes crap happens. That second pairing was god-awful. I don't understand why. They just got dunked on, which makes me kind of upset because we went out and purposefully got Noah Dobson to fit in to a role that Matt Dumba could not on that second pairing, and they just didn't play up to par. Yeah, okay. Goalies, Demir sucked. There's no other way to put it. He was abysmal. It's a contract year. I am in a rough position going forward. And I'm going to show you real quick that we don't have a lot of money. $22 million to be exact, until we move a guy like Gaudreau. Gives us $7+ million. It's going to be very, very tight. First off, I want to make sure we get Michkov under contract for as long as possible. I don't necessarily want to give him $11 million. I think he's worth it for sure. But if we can get him at a cheaper price point, I am a-okay with that. 11.050 times 0.85. If we can get him somewhere around a number like 9.5, I'll even give him... he's worth 9.8. I'll go 9.8. Just sign the contract. We do have Rook, who is our top left-handed defenseman. What does he want for 8 years? 8 years, 7 years, lock down our top left defenseman. I'd be happier with that than a 3 or 2 year deal. Okay, 8.925 times 0.85 equals 7. Slight raise there. I'd be willing to go up to 7.8 over 7. Get him locked down. A guy like Yoki Harju's probably going to leave. A lot of our depth players are going to have to be replaced. It is going to be a rough offseason. If we can get Chris Tierney, I'll do that. Volkov is another guy that I'd like to bring back. Yeah, I'll give him that. Everybody else, I'm not too worried about at this point in time. I will actually check Demir's, though. I'm not sure how much he wants. 89 overall, high elite. He wants 6 mil. I could go 1 year, because at the end of that deal, he's still an RFA. But over 8 years, he wants 12, and I'm not willing to give him that kind of money right now. So I'll do 6.8 over 1 year. Hopefully he signs that. I'm really counting on all these guys signing the deals, because that's going to make my job a whole lot easier heading into the offseason. Ludwig Pearson is finally back from that injury. Rook, it's an easy decision to re-up in Calgary for 7 years at a really nice price point. Chris Tierney, love to see it. Volkov, dope. Felipe Demirs is going to sign that deal, and now it comes down to Michkov. Michkov. We don't have... Oh, did we... Oh. So he was going to sign that deal. He was going to sign that deal, but apparently we allocated too much money to the other players. Yes, so it's coming down to us trading Johnny Gaudreau to get him back, and I think that's worth it. Whatever assets we get from Gaudreau, maybe we move up in the draft, because we do have a top 10 guaranteed pick from the LA Kings. We have a lot of moving to do. But Michkov is the only guy that we got to bring back. Hopefully that $11 million price range doesn't change too much. We'll come back to him in the offseason. We got everybody else that I really wanted to under contract. So we're going to just move forward. Hopefully Matt V isn't too interested in getting more money. We do have a few interesting options at the draft. We do have the first overall the projected first overall pick in Joachim Nienema, and 2 centermen, Gore and Vlasic, Cochran and Yakupov. I'm not sure who I'd be interested in, since we have the base 7th overall pick, depending if it moves up or down a few spots. Not necessarily interested in any of these medium top 6s. But definitely a few options going into the draft. I really hope to add. Last year, we had a really damn solid draft. I'm hoping we can repeat there. The New York Islanders are your Stanley Cup champions. Congratulations, New York. You finally did something relevant for the first time since the 70s. Congratulations. The Philadelphia Flyers have moved up from 5th to 1st. We hold on. Oh my God! We won the 2nd overall pick. Ladies and gentlemen. The Calgary Flames, the ultra mega 9,000 big brain move last offseason, getting the first overall pick from the LA Kings, turns into a top 3 lottery pick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what the Calgary Flames needed after a rough postseason. I get to add a future all-star centerman. That works out perfectly, because right now it's looking like Ludwig Pearson, Skylar Staubitz, anybody we would pull from free agency, a Chris Tierney. So that third line would be set. And then we get to judge between Pearson and Staubitz who moves on in the future for this up and coming centerman. We lucked out. I didn't even see that. I'm like, oh, Philadelphia. I didn't even bother to look, because then I looked at the pick number 7, 8 range. I'm like, oh, I don't see Calgary there. Second overall, baby. Oh, the draft. Okay, so it's either looking like Vlasic or Gore. They both look relatively the same, both playmakers. Vlasic put up 99 points in 66 games in the QMJHL. Dane Gore put up 86 and 65 in the USA, a harder program. Oh, this is going to be rough. Okay. Oh, yes, sir. And we have a few guys I'm looking at in the rest of the draft. I just want to get to the draft. Let's get to the draft. Who are the retirees, though? Who's calling it quits? Is Johnny Gaudreau going to call it quits at 35? I've seen it happen before. Who is hanging up the skates? Okay, bunch of guys. We do not see our boy Johnny Gaudreau there, which is not a bad thing. It's also a sad thing, though, that means I'm going to have to pull the trigger on trading him. Jakub Voracek, Matt Duchene, Kuznetsov, okay, yep. Brendan Gallagher, what a beauty. League is looking a whole lot different now. Chris Kreider, former Calgary Flame, won the Stanley Cup with us. Okay, any goalies? Ben Bishop, Jacob Markstrom, Antti Ranta, Peter Mrazek. Okay, and Jack Campbell. Not okay. Did we lose anybody? I want to make sure. Goalies, nope. All skaters. Brandon Peary and Schmaltz. Really? Already? Huh. Strange. Okay. I'm ready for the draft. I'm ready to bolster up the prospect pool. No draft interviews because they're dumb and they suck, and there's no need to put any time into them because EA Sports. NHL 21 is just around the corner, folks. I'm super excited for that. Second overall pick. Philly. What are they going to select? They're going to go with the franchise player. Now, maybe I should have done some scouting on him, but there's no... we look at our left wingers, Newhook, O'Reilly. Where is he really going to fit into the future? I mean, I guess you make room for a franchise player, but with the second overall selection, we have time to dilly-daddle. It's one of two guys. Dane Gore, which I'm kind of leaning towards, or Vlasic. Yakupov and Cochran look really, really nice. We could necessarily use a future right winger, but we did just get Frolov last 2 seasons ago, right? So the centerman makes more sense, which means we're not going to go out in free agency and have to spend money on something that we have, right? So I'm going to call a few timeouts, and we're going to have to pull the trigger on a trade that I thought I would never have to make. Last offseason, we lost our captain in Sean Monahan. As a 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion, Sean Monahan had to leave. It definitely hurt us. And now we are going to have to trade the other guy in Johnny Gaudreau, which I'm actually going to go to find trades first. I'm sure a team is going to be looking for a guy like Gaudreau. Plenty of teams could use the leadership of Johnny Hockey. It's just he doesn't make sense anymore here. Johnny Gaudreau. Okay, a few trades there. First next year from New Jersey. I'm definitely intrigued by that. Ottawa or New Jersey? I'll look at both of them. I'm pretty sure Ottawa's in a better state to win. Contender. First overall pick next year. I have a good feeling that they're probably going to be a solid team. Goaltender-wise, yeah, I think New Jersey might be the better case here. The New Jersey Devils. They're also a contender. They're both looking like solid teams, but if I can just trade him away to the East, I'd be a whole lot happier. They might be a bad team. They could be a bad team next year. I'm going to steal a first. I'll do a first. And do they have any guys matching the block? Nobody that great. And then we'll just take a pick. You gave us originally the 69th overall pick. I'm not going to retain on Gaudreau. Gaudreau, thank you for all your service. 2 Stanley Cups for Calgary, Alberta, Canada. You've been an absolute hero to this province and this country. Thank you for your service in the NHL. I'm not promising any... Oh, wait. Isn't Johnny Gaudreau from New Jersey? I want to say he's from the New Jersey region. I could be really wrong. He might be from Michigan. Either way, he heads back to the United States, which is his home. One of, if not the best players in franchise history. He finishes with 1,143 points, which I'm not sure where that ranks all time in our franchise's history. 414 goals. One of the best all-time. Johnny Hockey, we're going to miss you a bunch. Enjoy New Jersey. Thank you for the first and the $7+ million, which will lead to us re-signing Matt V. Michkov. Okay, before anything else happens, let's look at some cap. Anybody I got to trade out before the end of the season? Do we trade a Landeskog? Do we trade him just because? I'm gonna see. Or do we hold on to Landeskog? We could go into free agency looking for something better. Yeah, let me try the Landeskog thing real quick. He wasn't really that great for us. Regular season towards the end, it was great. When it came to the postseason, he was not here. I'm taking the first from Arizona. Yeah. If I can take a first-round pick from next year as a lottery ball, enjoy Landeskog, Arizona. Thank you for the first-round pick next year. So, already done in this draft. We have 2 firsts this year, 2 firsts next year, or actually 3. 1 from New Jersey, 1 from Arizona. That's a lot of moves from a former back-to-back winning team. I'm sure some hockey analysts are like, "Oh, are they rebuilding?" Nah, we're still a great team without them. So it is time to make the pick. Are we going with Anthony Vlasic or Dane Gore? I like both of them a lot. I'm leaning towards the guy from the USA. I just don't... I think they're going to be relatively the same. They're both playmakers. It's not like we're choosing goal scoring over anything. Both of them can score goals. Both of them are centermen. But I am really, really liking the 18-year-old at 6 foot. He's going to fit in well for this franchise. Dane Gore, welcome to the Calgary Flames. 78 overall. A bit lower than I thought it was going to be, so I'm hoping Vlasic is in an 82 plus. 81. So you can debate who was worse, who was better. Yes, right now it looks like Vlasic is the better player, but I think Dane Gore is going to be a phenomenal, phenomenal player for us in the very near future. So I'm not upset with that. Either one of them were going to be a great addition to this team. You can debate, but he's 18 at 78 overall. He only has room to grow. So our next pick is at 27. 27. Wait, which one? Do we not have the Islanders? I'm so confused. Oh, because we didn't win the Stanley Cup. I'm so slow. Holy... Okay, there was one player I was looking at in the rest of the first round. I just have to go find him real quick. Was it this Popov kid? I don't know if it was the Popov. Yeah, I think Popov was the only guy I was looking at for the rest of the first rounder. Scouts didn't do the best job this year. So I'm going to move up to pick number 20. Pick numero 20. Or earlier than that, I would actually... Okay. So none of these teams want to move. Would a team like the Chicago Blackhawks like to move back a few for a first round pick? And I will give you a first, and I'll give you my third round pick. Chicago. Oh, because yeah, Chicago totally makes sense. God damn it, Chicago! Why do you got to do that to me, boy? And I know this is paying a lot. I don't want to do too much. Yeah, I'm not trading up then. Yeah, that's not going to work. Popov is going to be great. I have a feeling he's going to be great. Pick number 27, I guess. Pick number 27. Who did we miss? What went in the top 10? Vlasic was great. Cochran would have been a great addition. Yakupov. So we got the worst player in the top 5. I think going into the future, anything is possible. I'm not really that worried. Okay, Malikov was pretty good defensive prospect. Popov was only a high top 9, so you know what? I'm glad we didn't overpay for that pick. Good. Pick number 27. What am I feeling like? Probably going to go with the defenseman. Do we go with the guy from the A+, or do we go with this Bayer? I think either one is a good decision. I mean, this guy is similar to Ekholm. With a 3-year ETA, I think it said. Yeah, 3-year ETA. So if it's a medium top 4 defenseman, I'm happy with that. But our scouts do recommend this Sven Grossman. I don't trust that. I really don't trust that. So I'm gonna go with Ryder Beer. See what he's looking like. Ah, Jesus. Okay. Well, please, for the love of God, Grossman. Do I trade for that pick? No, I won't trade for that pick. Okay, so they both sucked. So the end of the first round, we picked exactly how other teams were picking. I wish it wasn't that crappy. So it's not going the exact way we wanted it to. I think the player we got in the top 3 was a great addition. I'm not mad in the slightest. Do you see? I'm not mad. I'm vibing. I am vibing. So the rest of the draft is kind of a crapshoot. Do we just go with goalies at this point? Do we just go with goalie? 69th overall. I think it makes perfect sense that we go with a goalie. Tony Marjamaki. Sure. Welcome to the squad, bud. Medium elite 61 overall. That's a phenomenal pick right there. How old? 19? Overager. But you know what? That is trade value, especially at that age. That's a pretty high overall for a 19-year-old. I'm happy with that. Let's send him to pick number 120. We're getting value this draft. We're definitely doing a good job. Pick number 27 the first round wasn't the best. But that tends to happen over the years. Yep, okay. Anything else in the third round we missed? No, nada. So it looks like we're not doing too bad of a job. We've made some major trades during this draft. 3 first-round picks next year, which could be magic beans. They could turn out to be nothing. But using our trade assets, I think we've done a pretty damn bang-up good job this year. Pascal Lambert is the next projected guy on the draft list. We do have the Sam Roop. I'm just feeling like we're going a goaltender. Zykov, 18 years of age. Do it. Let's see. Fringe starter. In the 4th round, could have been worse. You know what? That wasn't too bad. Let's see, I'm glad I didn't go with Lambert. We got better value for a 4th round pick than I thought it was gonna. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna bother to check the rest of the picks, the rest of the draft. let's just get through, because we have a few things to address going into the re-sign phase. Another goalie. Sven Johnson, backup goalie. Okay, so not a great pick right there. 6th round underway, one more to go. Oh, okay. Ooh, wait. I doubt this Georges Brodeur is going to be any good. It does say he has the potential to be a low franchise skater. Potential. I doubt he's going to be anything close to that. I might debate low elite, but anything around that range would be really awesome for us. I do really like this Jokinen, but I'm going to go with Brodeur just because. Why not? Let's see. Low elite, 56 overall at 19 years of age. That's a good pick. I think that's, especially in the 6th round. Yeah, I just want to see how that other player. Yeah, I'm going to sim to our last pick of the draft and come back and see how that other kid turned out that I was looking at. Now, what was his name? Because I've already forgotten. Jokinen. Oh, yeah. 20 years of age. So he's not really going to turn into anything great. I had a feeling he was going to be a solid potential. But if you account age, he's not going to be the best player. Trade value-wise, yeah, that's sick to have. But Brodeur is kind of like the wild card. I'm not sure which one I'd rather have. So the last pick we can make of the draft, what are we going with? What are we going with? I'm not sure what we should go with. Do we go with another goalie? This guy's name is Kavanagh. Let's go Kavanagh, sure. Why not? Fringe starter in the 7th round. Trade value, baby. Trade value. So we are wrapping up the 2029 NHL entry draft, and overall-wise, I think we got value back. Especially for where the picks were in each round. I think we did a really good job there. We only have the NHL assistant coach to worry about. Scouts and all that I'm going to worry about off-screen. Because right now we have a pretty big player to bring back, and his name is Matvei Michkov with $20 million. We are going to bring back Matvei. He wants 6 years now at 11. Not willing to give him 11. So he was willing to sign our last contract we gave to him. I have a bad feeling that he's not going to sign this one. I have a really weird feeling that he's not going to want to sign this one. So I'll go 9.7.5. And all the other players, I don't care about. I mean, I care, but I don't care about. I don't care. The only guy I care about signing is Michkov. If everybody else signs and he doesn't, it's going to be a pain in our side. So O'Reilly technically wants to be re-signed. He really folded in the later half of the season. I'm going to let him walk to free agency since we did just get a centerman. I mean, Dane Gore might not even be ready for the NHL lineup this year, so we might have to go out and spend anyways in free agency. But I think as a future plan, Dane Gore is looking pretty nice. We do have Duar. We're going to re-sign him. Yoki Harju wants $5 million. You can go to free agency. Dominic Bach. I'm assuming a lot of these guys aren't going to want to re-sign. Ivan Kasparaitis, my guy. No, you can't ask for that much, bud. I can't give you that much money. No, my guy, you can't just do that. Kasparaitis, you are not necessarily worth that much money on the 4th line. But I'm going to bring you back anyways. But I'm only going to give you 1.6 for 2 years. I think that's a generous contract, especially for him. Unsigned players, Dane Gore, we are going to sign for the AHL. I don't think he's going to grow at all during free agency or during the off season, so I might as well leave him there. Everybody else can stay. Goaltending-wise, Demers, Terry's going to be good enough to be the backup. Kakinen we are going to let go of. Bouchard, we are going to re-sign. Make sure we do that. Anybody else? that we have to play in the AHL this year. So Exelby and Bouchard look to be our backup and starter in the AHL next year. So I shouldn't have pressed back. Who's going to re-sign? Just make my job easy. Make my job easy. Let me sim through them really quick. Oh, it looks... I have a bad feeling Michkov isn't going to sign that. Oh, God damn it, Michkov. Yeah, Michkov did not sign that deal. Wee woo. Kasperitis also didn't sign that. Okay, let go of Bach. We'll come back to Kasperitis because he's actually the big fish of free agency. 11.6 for $11 million for 6 years. I can go down to 10.2. That's the highest I would really want to go with Michkov. Why did I press back? I remember the days where you had to literally go out of the screen to sim a day. Those were the days. Literally the last NHL game. Matvei Michkov is going to re-sign for six years. That is huge for us. With $11 million left, we have to get a third-line left winger. Relatively easy to do. Third-line centerman, and our fourth line should be pretty nice. Okay. And only like 1 or 2 depth defensemen. Should I re-sign Kasperitis? He was a really solid player for us, but I really don't want to give him that much money. I think it'd be smarter to work out other problems first before we come back to guys like Kasperitis. So I'm going to do the smart thing and not re-sign him just at this point in time. If he wants a cheaper contract heading into free agency, I would love to give him a contract. Jake Lowe probably doesn't want to be our assistant coach, which is great for us. He's probably not going to want to sign that, so we'll just go out and get another guy in free agency. A lot of decisions to be made here. Are there going to be any big fish? With $11 million to work with, we could potentially bring on something nice. Yeah, Jake Lowe, we can bring him back in free agency if we really feel like it. Okay. This is important. Who is the big fish? Who is it going to be? 38 contracts, plenty of room. Who's the big fish? It is... Okay. Big fish is Davidson. At $10 million and a UFA. Eli Tolvanen, Artemi Panarin. You got another defenseman right here, Junior Reinhardt. We don't need the top tier defenseman anyway, since... Yeah, no, we really don't. Okay, third line, left winger. First I'll check the goalies just to see if there's anything big out there. Okay, yeah, Carter Hart, that is definitely one of them. Any guys make it through the draft here? Gleason, 68 overall at 20 years of age. No, I won't sign it. Nah, I don't feel like it. We don't need another goaltender. We really don't. Defenseman, real quick. Any solid depth pizzas. Any... What am I doing? Ooh, Vickers. Yep, it's Vickers. Yep, it's this Vickers kid. He'll play bottom line minutes for us at $1.7 million for 1 year. Then he's an option next year if we want to re-sign somebody as a depth piece for us. Works out perfectly. We also have this Lundqvist kid who I did have in my Alaska franchise mode. Sure. Nice depth pieces right there. So let's go back to forwards. Let's go by potential. Okay, so... Okay, what team did that? Uh-oh. Oh, guys. I have an idea. So, what team is that? This Jan Barnaka is from the Montreal Canadiens, currently at 20 years of age. They're kind of crapping on him there in Montreal, and he seems like a really solid player. Statistically, of course, he's going to suck in Montreal because they're a crappy team. But how much, as an RFA, would we have to offer him to make sure Montreal doesn't get him back. Because if we give him $5 million, that's a first and a third, which I'm pretty sure would be our own first-round pick, and then we would have 2 more first-round picks. So I want to go see Montreal. How much money do they have? And then I want to see how much is the max that I'd be willing to sign a player like that for, because if we can steal a player like that, we have the necessary assets to do that right here, right now. We're not going to get another chance like this. They're a rebuilder with a crap ton of room. Yeah, they got so much room for that Barnaca kid if they really felt like it. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that makes me mad. Okay. We can still try. Maybe Montreal will be stupid and not retain their player services. So what is the max we could potentially give him? Maybe we can screw Montreal in the process. Okay, where'd he go? Centerman, Barnaca. He would be a solid friggin' player to bring over. I'm just saying. Barnaca. 2 years. 7 years. If we're paying that money, 7 years. And let's just keep going up. A first and a third is max what I'd like to do. So 6 over 7 years is a first, second, and third. How high can we go with that? I'm okay with I'm willing to give it a second. So 7 over 7, first, a second, and a third. Okay. How much more am I going to have to do for him until it changes to... Okay, 3 first-round draft picks. So we're going to go down. That's too much for me to give up, especially with 2 potential lottery picks. Okay, so it looks like 7 is the cap. Yeah, 7's the cap there. 7 over 7 for this Barnaca kid from Montreal. Maybe Montreal gives up and doesn't want a player like that. He'd be a huge addition to the squad. He would be massive. A massive piece. I'm hoping, but I have a feeling Montreal is going to re-sign him. So our next option is going for third-line left winger. Relatively cheap price. I really like the signing of Thomas Tatar. Yeah, he seems 38 years of age. He might drop. Yeah, that does make sense as well. Pavel Buchnevich almost makes more sense since he's 4 years younger. Probably not going to drop a bunch of overall. I'd only be willing to do 1 year. Pavel Buchnevich for 1 year at 3. Hopefully you sign that. So that's looking like all that we can really do. Barnaca, I have a feeling Montreal is going to sign him. That would be a phenomenal deal to sign anyways. So let's see, I guess. I would love a Barnaca. Come on, Montreal. Screw up. Screw up. You want to screw up. Bowman Byram and Brandon Carlo to the Winnipeg Jets, and Vegas gets Ehlers. Defensemen are worth a pretty penny in this franchise mode, and Winnipeg just got 2 really solid ones. Pavel Buchnevich is going to sign that deal. Welcome to the squad. Nils Lundqvist, dope. Vickers, dope. So, actually... I want to make sure that the $7 million that I gave Barnaca is available. $8 million. Okay, plenty of money. Plenty of money left. Barnaca, baby, I know you want to sign with us. Barnaca is going to accept our offer, but Montreal still has a chance to retain his services. Montreal, screw up here, buds. They're a rebuilder. They got plenty of money to sign him. They would be fools not to accept that offer. The Montreal Canadiens. They've not... They have chosen not to match our offer. With the somewhat sizable salary involved, you are obligated to supply 3 picks as compensation. 2030 first, second, and third round pick are headed to Montreal, but I would say that as the steal of the century. Jan Barnaca, welcome to Calgary for 7 years. Oh my God. They just screwed up royally. They had plenty enough money to sign a guy like that. We just came out like bank robbers. That was highway robbery. That was highway robbery. That feels so unfair to do to them. How did we manage to do... Montreal, what the hell? You can't just let a player walk like that, especially when you have $28 million, $18 million. What are you doing? You think a first, a second, and a third... What first did they get? Did they get our first? Oh, yes, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Our first, which is nothing. We have 2 other first-round... Guys, I don't ever offer a player. Ever. And when I do, they never usually sign. So we just made out like gangbusters. That is one of the best signings I have ever made, and he is going to be a huge addition to this team at 20 years of age. Our center core is looking completely altered. Ludwig Pearson, Skylar Staubitz, Jan Barnaka, Dane Gore, who we just picked up with the 2nd overall pick. This team is still looking phenomenal. With $2 million left, I'm wondering if we can get back a guy like... Let me see if we can find him. I really do want to bring back Kasparaitis. I would hate to lose him on the open market. He wants $2 million. I'm not willing to give him $2 million. Kasparaitis, it's been a joy. Enjoy your life somewhere else because I'm not giving you that much money. So I think we had a pretty good episode. The draft, debatable. You can debate it all you want. But getting Jan Barnaka solves a lot of problems. Losing Johnny Gaudreau, our current captain, is gone. Who's our captain? I don't know who to give it to, really. Has anybody really stepped up on this roster? Cale Makar, maybe? I'm not too sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share this with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.